apologize for that technical hitch, but mambo sasa iko sawa. Nimeuliza hapa swali nikaambiwa hizi vitu zimetengenezwa na mikono ya binadamu and man is to error. But anyway, we apologize for that technical hitch. Just in case you're getting to hear or you were not here when I did the introduction of Gordon. He is the CEO of Semanami, an organization that is making an impact and change in the society, meeting the needs of the people in the community. Sasa, wacha tumpe nafasi, sasa ajiintroduce vizuri jo amkusikia sauti yake hiyo saa. Alright? Karibu sana. So let's take it up again.
Alright, my name is Gordon Odour. I'm the CEO of Semanami organization and equally the founder of Semanami. So, and above and all that, I'm also a communication personality and also a media personality as well. Semanami is just a platform that was created some 6 years ago, and it was just a medium for people to be able to address their issues and to be able to find amicable ways of trying to solve some of the patent issues that were rising. So basically that's what Semanami is all about. Sema na mimi niseme na wewe tuweze kusaidiana.
Why the name Semanami?
Semanami because tunasema tukiongea, tunapoongea tunasemezana. Yeah, so basically it's just a platform and avenue to be able to bring in some of the issues and raise some of the issues, raise concerns just as a way of trying to listen to people and also trying to support where it's possible.
What are some of the issues you talk about?
We talk about issues to do with education, career, health. We also deal with financial literacy, as well as community financial literacy and community empowerment projects.
Tell me, is it a project you started because of a personal experience, or it's just something you woke up one day and decided, by the way, tunaweza ongea juu education, ama it's something that really has a story behind it?
Now, I'm a man of so many stories, and one of my
stories
is that, you know, there was a time when I was in campus, I used to teach in a certain high school. I was a teacher by then. Yeah, I was a teacher, a high school teacher. And during my stay as a teacher in one of the community schools, I was able to get some of the concerns and issues that were being raised by some of the students in that school. And some of the patent issues were issues to do with personal, you know, personal issues with regards to, number one, they were lacking what you call morale. That's why they were not doing so well. Number two, they were lacking some of the basics that students really need, especially they were struggling to get sanitary towels, they were struggling to get stationaries, they were also struggling to get lunch and stuff like that. So an idea just popped into my mind and said, why can't I create an organization that can be able to address some of these patent issues? So that's how I came up with the idea. I slept over it, thought around it, and I brought on board some of my friends. I had some friends who were already, you know, already in working class. I told them this is the idea, the kind of idea I have. What do you think about it? And they said, okay, wow, why can't we give it a trial? And that's how Semanami came about. And I will say one of our first projects after launching it, it was a success because we did our first event. And it was a high school event, actually. We started off with a high school event, and we had so many high schools that came. It was much of career, talent, and also addressing some of the patent issues that deal with identity crisis, hygiene, how well they can be able to, you know, to create their sense of belonging, and how. And also, I created a platform whereby those who could be able to donate, they could donate some of these needs that some of these students were really lacking. And that was our first successful story.
You've said the first event you did, or rather where you started off at was high school. Does it mean you have advanced to different areas? We
advanced to different areas. We started with the high school event. And also, from that, we also started doing community empowerment programs, quite a number of them. I don't know if the time will allow for me to mention, but we did quite a number. Yeah, like we had what you call Inwamama, annual Inwamama conference, where we bring women together, we empower them, we bring in banks, we bring in circles, we also bring in hospitals to be able to provide just free medical camp, and also address some of the female, you know, hygiene issues, as well as reproductive health as well. We are also able to carry on what we call inter-church empowerment programs, whereby we bring churches together. We talk about you know, business forums as far as financial literacy is concerned, and also we look into the aspect of talent development in churches. our wings spread a little bit further, and also we were able to get into the youths, the young people, where we could create annual extreme youth festival, where young people will come together. We create games for them. We create competitive activities for them. And also we create an avenue for them to learn about career, and also just be able to be mentored and sharpened by people who already sharpen us, as just as a way of also encouraging them to, to do better.
Amazing.
Yeah,
so one
you.
of the things you advocate for, rather, from the bio I read in terms of Semanami, is you advocate for building holistic, empowered communities.
Exactly.
What does this practically mean?
The reason why our nation is not doing well, it's because we have a crop that has got a potential, but they don't have someone to really tap into the potentials that are there. So these are some of the gray areas that we really looked into as an organization, and sat down and realized how well can we be able to tap into these. So by holistic, it means that to avoid the issue of dependence. When you're not empowered, you become so much of independent. You depend on people. When you depend on people, then it brings about an aspect of non-sustainability. So we came up with platforms that could be able to create what we call self-sustainability. In that, when someone empowers you financially, then that person has created sustainability. When someone creates what you call mental awareness, it creates an essence of sustainability, because you cannot do well when mentally you are not okay. And also health-wise, when you are ill, or when you're having a terminal issue that maybe you've not identified, sometimes it kind of curtail your work, and when it curtails your work, then it means that you cannot be productive, and you're not productive, you cannot be self-sustainable. So that is why our pillars are anchored on financial literacy, anchored on health, and also anchored on creatives and talent.
Amazing. Let's talk about talent.
Sure.
Why is talent development such a key focus for your organization?
The world is evolving so fast, and given that the world is, if you take a look at our current curriculum, it's competency-based education, meaning it's more of talent. It clearly tells you where the world is moving into. The world, people are no longer looking into how well you performed in your academics. As much as academics is important, but people are getting to realize, kumbe talent can also bring can chip something into our economy. That's why we are so much into talent development, because realize there's so many young people out there who are so much talented, but they don't have that platform where they can be able to exercise it. Or even if they have the platform to exercise it, it's not that platform that can create some networks for them. For instance, there was a story of a young man who has been a very good musician. For so many years, he's been doing music, hustling to do recordings and everything. But this music don't sprout out the way he would love it to sprout out. Why? Because he lacks what you call a network. Yes. Now, but when we create networks where some of these artists can be able to record their songs, they can get that platform where they can perform and get referrals like, hey, wow, I saw that guy and he was doing an amazing job. Can I have it perform in my event for this and this amount? So by the end of the day, you realize that you create some essence of empowerment through talent. So talent has opened so many doors for so many people, young people in Semanami. Personally, I run a theater production that dwells so much on talent. I also run an academy, a modeling academy that also supports so much of the creatives, because I know what is in it in the creatives.
Being in that space, or rather being in that scenario where you get to deal with so many young people who have talent. Some of them will jump onto it, some of them will hesitate. Why do you think young people have not fully embraced taking up their talents and monetizing them?
Number one, I think it's because of upbringing and also failure by the government, sorry to say so, to be able to to be able to tap into some of these talents. I'll start with family. Most families believe that for you to make it, you have to do well in academics, But there are those students that, however much they do much in academics, they still don't make it. But if parents can be able to have a deep conversation about their kids' talent, trying to nurture their kids' talent as young as they are, then they'll realize by then they don't have to spend so much, so much on education. They'd rather put half of the investment in education and half of the investment in developing a kid's talent. I'll give you a good example of my academy, my modeling academy. I was able to start a modeling academy because some of the parents were like, hey, we've been attending some of your events, and we'll also want you to start an academy where we can also nurture, because I'm seeing a talent in my kid, but I want a space where my kid can learn talent and also learn at an affordable rate, So you see, that's a parent who has already identified this is what my kid is best at. And we keep developing that talent because we know by the end of the day, out of this modeling talent, at least the child will be able to get some adverts, maybe one time, and that advert will change their lives. And number two is about the government. As much as we are talking about the creative economy, it's really not working for so many young people out there, because we have a monopolized kind of a how do you call it? Kind of a forum whereby today, for example, Grace, I'm sorry to say this, if you are very talented and you don't know who is who, sometimes, kupenya, let me use the word kupenya, it's really, really difficult, So I realize also sometimes the government is also failing in that, because we focus, the bodies we create, but these bodies are only benefiting a few people at the expense of a good number of young people out there, or people who have got some talent. So I think the government needs to do something about it to be able to inspire some of these creatives. Yeah.
Health is another pillar you uphold in Semanami. What specific health-related issues do you address?
Mental health is our key issue at Semanami, and also subsidiaries reproductive.
Dealing with young people,
Yeah, so I realized that, a lot of young people are currently battling mental health.
Ooh, yes.
Because I deal with them at personal level, because I told you I run a production. I also organize events for young people. And sometimes young people get into my inbox with so many issues, like, hey, Gordon, this is what do you think about this issue? I'm depressed, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling low about myself, and then they have so much issues with self-esteem. It's a real problem. I was telling somebody that sometimes let us not judge these young people when they try to ape some of the lifestyles that they see on social media and the rest. That's also one way of them escaping from the real issues that they're facing. So I feel mental health is quite a big issue that need to be addressed. And if it is possible, the government or we as organizations need to put in a lot of resources to be able to address this issue. Because if we don't address mental health issue amongst young people, then we are going to lose a generation that will have taken this country some steps forward.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the other thing I would want to ask you, because you are, it's a pillar in your organization, is financial literacy. You've dealt with young people, so you understand where we are at. We want quick money. Young people want quick success. We are in the microwave generation, basically, where nataka ni gamble, nataka ni bet, nataka ni ekele, nataka nifinye laptop itoe $1. So why do you think that young people struggle with with their literacy in terms of financial literacy, with understanding money issues, and then two, managing money? Because you will find a young person akona do leo, muulize jioni, sai asubuhi umemwacha na do, jioni alipeleka wapi, aliekelea. So why do young people struggle with managing money?
I'll still return this conversation back to lack of empowerment, because I think for the longest time, financial institutions have really put so much focus and emphasis on, on a certain age group that they think these are the guys who, if you tell them about financial literacy, will be able to get something in return. I've had scenarios whereby I've organized financial literacy programs where I've invited banks, but the moment banks wakisikia too, like, we are going to address young people, they're like, hakuna haja, because they feel there's no market there. Yeah, but what they don't understand is that these are also equally potential clients who could be maybe in the middle, like, hey, there was this conference and I don't want to mention that, I don't want to market any institution, but a bank so and so came and they talked to us and they gave us some of their products. Why? Wow, I feel this is a bank I can be able to invest in, you know. So I think also financial institutions are also failing on that aspect. But getting back to the real conversation of, based on the question that you asked, I feel just the way you've just said, most young people have got a lot of expectations in life. And some of them are unrealistic expectations. You know, a young person wants to make it overnight. And they don't want a job or a work that may take them so much time to be able to build themselves. So they believe in gambling because they believe, hey, if I gamble, I'll be able to make quick money. If I do this, if I get into Forex, I'll be able to make this and this, because some of, they see it in social media, how people make it. So they still, so they don't have what to go. So you realize by then what they make, even however little it is, they spend it, in some of these, money platforms, hoping that they'll be able to make much. Equally, I will also say that they're also not disciplined in how they spend their money. A good number of young people are partyholics. Let us be sincere. Hakuna bash wanakosa, hakuna, event or festival wanataka kukosa. They always want to be there because they feel that is where they belong. But most of the time you realize your pesa kidogo anatengeneza, much of it is wasted in either alcohol, hard drugs, and also in some of these parties, and also entertaining. If it's a guy, entertaining the girlfriend. If it's a girlfriend, entertaining her looks. So you realize
lazima mapenzi jipe.
Jipe. So you realize that they don't have this concept whereby you can be able to you can have 10 bob, use 5 shillings and keep 5 shillings. Yeah, they find it like, I don't know whether it's because they don't trust their savings, they don't trust, or they don't know much about savings, but I feel it's a whole concept that needs to really be addressed.
Okay. Do you have financial trainings other than the banks that you take, personally you take the young people through?
It will be a lie if I said yes. But it's something that
is it something you're working on?
Yeah, we are working on into the future. Because most of the forums is the forums whereby we create a forum, we just invite some of these guys, they talk to them, and that is it. But we are looking into a long-term solution whereby we can be able to work with some of these young people to be able to realize some of their financial goals.
Okay. Amazing.
Yes, sure.
So why are you big on charity? Giving back?
Wow, because we are big on charity, because because
why is it very personal for you?
It is personal because I've lived amongst those who don't have. When I was a high school teacher, just as I had mentioned, I lived in a community known as Ngando. Ngando is in Dagoretti somewhere. And I didn't stay for long, I stayed for only 2 years. But I realized the struggles that were there. And one funny thing, some of these organizations, they're so much into other areas of Nairobi, but they're so limited in some spaces. So I realized that this is an area whereby so many people were lacking like some of the basics. And you realize some mamas, okay, I will give a classical example. I came to realize that most of the families there are single families whereby they are run by single mothers. And sometimes let me not use the word poor, it's wrong. When you are lacking, and also you don't have something meaningful to do, you are highly vulnerable to do very, very odd things to get that money. Some could even go as an extent of even transacting their kids to be able to get that money. So for us, charity became a pillar to meet the need that could have not been met by some of these families.
Amazing. How do you help young people? I know you have the forum where you're doing modeling, they're doing theater.
Yes, sure.
That all plays part of career. So how do you ensure that you help them find a direction for what career paths they should take? Because a lot of young people struggle with identity crisis, and they struggle with purpose, understanding mimi nimeitiwa nini. So mtu anaona ni kama naona kama models wanaweza, but then maybe their talent is in acting or is in somewhere else. So how do you ensure that you give them the proper direction to the right talents and career guidance?
Now, that number one, what we usually do as an organization, usually organize what we call career days, whereby we invite universities and colleges. They come forth. They, especially some of the youth forums that usually create. We invite them over, they talk about their careers. They're also able to engage based on their interests to see how best they can be able to fit. And I must appreciate some of the institutions that have worked with us for so many years, just as a way of helping these young people. Something else that I would also want to add as a top up to what you've just said is that, you know, it's one thing to have a talent, but it's one thing to be able to knit yourself to where your talent can be able to help you.
Yeah.
So what we often do is that when we create such kind of forums, we also bring in people that, you know, we know by the end of the day can create a good social network for them, people who can move them from one step to another. For instance, I do also organize pageantry, modeling pageantries, where I'm able to get my Mr. and Miss Semanami, the runners and everything. What I often do to be able to, you know, create impact in that title, because pageantry is a talent without an impact, you know, sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I ensure that I come up with projects. Like currently we are doing a project known as Singles for Mr. and Miss Semanami, where we are tapping into the single mothers and the widows, just as a way of trying to revive the lost hope in them. So you see, that's also one way in which we bring in the talent, and also as much as that talent has got some essence of passion, we also translate the passion into empowerment, something that is long lasting. The same applies to other disciplines such as the acting, because I told also run a theater production. Some of our plays they have some teaching behind it, you know, just as a way of enlightening the community and also creating an avenue where some of these actors and actresses can be spotted. Because I have a few, you know, successful stories whereby some of my actors have been spotted, and right now they're doing very big things in my Shamagic and other greater platforms, and I thank God for that through that small platform,
which is doing good.
Yeah, sure.
You talked about working in with partners and doing collaborations with various people. What do you look for in a partner before collaborating with them?
Number one, I look at interest, and I look at the goals, the mission of that institution. Because, you know, you can't just walk into somebody, maybe you have a very brilliant idea, but if it doesn't connect with the goals and objectives of that organization, you lose it. So I do a research on some of the goals and objectives of that institution, and that is how I'm able to connect with them and bring them on board as either partners or sponsors for different activities. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If Semanami didn't exist today, what gap do you think the community will be feeling the most?
The gap of avenue where they can be able to address their issues, because I feel they could be having so many issues that are left unaddressed. Because let me allow me to say this. I know time is way gone, but allow me to say this. So many organizations, they always assume this is what you want, you know, or this is the need, but really they don't get into a forum where they can be able to interact, you know, with these people and meet with these people to be able to really what exactly is the need. So now part up, they go doing charity, they go doing this and this, and you know, realize some of the things they do, yes, as much as they are good, but by the end of the day, it's not really what the community really need as something that is urgent to them or primary to them. So for us, the gap that we are feeling is we are creating that platform through our community engagement forums. Yeah.
After 6 years of being in Semanami, what are some of the lessons you have carried along?
Number one, always plan on your own, never depend on other people. Yeah, because if you're planning for events, you're planning for occasions, and you are depending on other people's pockets or, you know, funding, you lose it. So kujipanga ni muhimu sana. Yeah, that's a big lesson I've really came to learn.
What do you wish someone told you? What piece of advice do you wish someone told you when you were starting?
That, you know, in this journey, not everybody will accept what you are doing, and people will be highly critical of what you do. Yeah.
That
not everybody will love what you're doing, and people will be highly critical of what you do. And people will always be magnifying the negatives. Yeah, because of course, you know, every organization has got weak points. You know, nowhere is perfect, as much as, you know, we are all working on perfection. But sometimes, you know, you can do so good, but if you mess hata kidogo, people always look at iyo kidogo. You know?
Yeah. If you were to talk to a young person today, because you've been a young person before you advanced in life. If you
Exactly.
could talk to a young person today who is somewhere you were a few years down the line and they didn't know what to do with their lives, they didn't know what career path or space to take, what would you tell them using that camera?
I will tell them, first of all, to do what's called self-introspection, where they get to understand themselves, talk within themselves, and get to understand what they're passionate about. Because if you don't understand yourself by self-talking to yourself in a simple room where it's only you and yourself, you'll not be able to, you know, rediscover who you are. And when you don't rediscover who you are, then you become a problem. But if you discover who you are in your own personal space, then you're able to move out there and be able to express that which lies within yourself.
Amazing. So
Asante.
where can we find you?
Semanami.
How can we connect with you?
Semanami is located at Shalom House along Gong Road. That's where our offices are. And our Facebook pages, is Semanami Organization, TikTok. Same applies to TikTok, Instagram. You're just at Semanami Organization. You're able to find us there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So in one sentence,
Yeah.
what legacy would you hope to leave behind in Semanami, in Kenya and beyond?
A legacy of hope.
Legacy of hope.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you for coming.
All right.
Thank you for talking to us.
Okay.
And we apologize for the technical hitches we had at the beginning.
And can I also apologize?
It's okay, no
Also, let me
worries.
apologize for coming late.
It's okay, no
And
worries.
also, let me apologize. Allow me to add on to our number in case anyone
Yes,
wants to reach
yes,
out to
yes,
us.
yes.
Our communication number is 0718 18 76 73. 0718 18 76 73. Ukipiga utanipata, ukinikosa bado utanipata.
Alrighty. I'm being reminded there's
Sure.
something you're launching and you've not
Oh,
said something
beautiful.
about it.
Because you didn't bring it forth.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please talk about it.
All right. We were meant to launch it on 4th, but I'm thinking of pushing it to 11th of October because of some few logistical issues. We are launching what we call single initiative. Now, this is an initiative that brings together single mothers of ages 18 to 35, as well as widows. And our theme is regaining the lost hope. And how are we going to regain this lost hope? By creating a platform where we are going to bring in financial companies to be able to help them on issues with investment and savings. We also bring in colleges and universities because some of them are passionate on going back to school and restarting their career life. So we are also inviting them. We're also inviting hospitals and mental health institutions to be able to counsel them because let me be very, very sincere to you. You know, a lot of there's a gray area that people have not really tapped into so much, but it's an area that I feel really needs to. That's why as Semanami we've dived into it so very, very fast. The single motherhood, it's a really, really big issue. Sometimes I get a lot of messages from single mothers, especially when we created this forum, we are awaiting launching it. These people have got a lot of issues that are mental. That how I wished we could get more partners who could be able to, partner with us, chip in something just to support some of these single mothers. Because it's also something that we're really working on long term. We want to work with them. We have like 300 so far that have registered with us. And we want to have a long working journey with them of just financial support. We want to connect them to jobs. We want to connect them to opportunities. We want to tap into their skills. We just want to make them feel that nothing is lost as much as something was lost.
Amazing.
Hey,
Sorry,
thank you.
I think this whole thing, or whatever was happening, threw me off balance, and
No
I forgot
worries,
to
no worries.
mention that.
No
But
worries.
thank you, and thank you, George, for reminding me about that. So thank you.
Asante.
Thank you. Asante sana for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for indulging us. We really appreciate it.
I also appreciate you for your time.
Alrighty. All right, we are done with the first conversation here at Empowerment Cafe, and I believe you've carried something home for yourself. You don't have to sit there and wait for something ijipe. Pick your talent, do something with it. At the end of the day, one day itajipa. Before I close up, wale watu wa kusema lazima wapeane shout out, I have to tell my brother happy birthday. Just in case I don't come back here, I want to sing for my brother happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Isaac. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? We are not saying it. How old are you now? We are not saying it. Happy birthday, dear Isaac. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my little brother. I love you, love you, love you, love you very much. Yeah, nimekuwa wale watu wa Western lazima watume salamu na waongeze mambo mingi ndani. But we're taking a short break. Please go on our social media handles, to our social media handles. Check our question of the day on WCW. We have an amazing question that Val will be talking about with some amazing ladies in a few minutes. Do not touch the dial. We will be back with more. Thank you.
Okay.